Holacracy is a form of adhocracy. But whilst we're way past peak adhocracy, it seems to me that holacracy is on the rise. Holacracy is a very modern attempt to reform the idea of the traditional hierarchy. It seeks to maintain a level of centralized control and oversight, but to empower individuals to make decisions within that structure. Brian Robertson coined the term Holacracy in 2003 as a description for the organizational approach that he had developed for his new company, Ternary Software. It seems the lessons he and his company learned in implementing this approach to its own management and organizational structure were of more value than the software it was selling. Because in 2007, Robertson renamed his company Holacracy 1 and transformed it from being a software provider to an advisor advising other companies who wanted to adopt Holacracy as their operating model. And in 2015, Robertson put his ideas in print with his book, Holacracy, the new management system for a rapidly changing world. At its heart, Holacracy is a simple model. Instead of managers making decisions, decisions are made by a group of employees who all sit within a circle. And a circle is a group of employees who share an interest, either functional or product-based, or linked to a set of activities or a process. And these circles can reorganize quickly, which makes a holacracy highly agile and links it to the idea of an adhocracy, where groups come together ad hoc in a temporary fashion. Robertson and other advocates for holacracy argue that by empowering individuals and giving them a feeling that they can make decisions for themselves, it creates a highly entrepreneurial mindset which can get things done quickly and effectively. Essentially, holacracy asks each group of individuals to think like an owner. Responsibility for decisions isn't in the hands of a small, narrow clique of managers, it's in everybody's hands. Is a holacracy really just a democracy? Well, arguably it is. Small groups of people get to make the decisions. But also arguably it's not, because sitting above all of the circles is a leadership structure. However, because these circles are focused on making small improvements, holacracies are a good mechanism for constant improvement, or Kaizen. So how does a hierarchy work in this world of circles? Well, most holacracies are not completely flat with a huge number of circles all reporting up to one leadership function. Rather, we have circles within circles. And there is cross-representation. Members of one circle will sit within the circle above, or to put it another way, members within an enclosing circle will be represented within each of the individual circles within it, which ensures that there is consistency of decision making and that there is a coherence in the way that the different circles recognize, understand, and apply the overarching strategy. So, instead of a hierarchy of ever more powerful supervisors and managers and senior managers, we have a hierarchy of ever more powerful circles. But what interests me most about holacracy is not the structure, it's the way the circles make decisions. And whilst this would probably fit better within a decision-making or a facilitating module within management courses, I'm going to tackle it here. There's a formal decision-making process that we can separate into 6 individual steps. And what's really good about the way the steps are structured is the way that they separate things that are different from one another very clearly. For example, They separate understanding a proposal from assessing it. They separate people's emotional reaction to the proposal from their intellectual, rational concerns about the proposal. And they separate the strengths of the proposal very clearly from its weaknesses and explicitly examine two things: how the proposal might cause the organisation harm and how the proposals might cause the organisation to move backwards rather than forwards. This means that decisions within a holacracy structure are all about a kind of test and review mentality rather than a mentality of not failing. Step one of the decision process is for the proposer to present both the problem that needs solving and their proposal to address it. Step two is limited exclusively to clarifying questions. Members of the circle can ask any questions they like about what the proposer has said to better understand it, but at this stage they may not express their opinions or their concerns or their reactions to what they've heard. The reaction round is number 3. This is where members of the circle can express their reactions and everyone has to listen to them, including the proposer. And it is not the proposer's role at this stage to defend their proposals, just to hear all of the reactions. It's at step 4 that the proposer can do two things. Firstly, they can clarify what their proposal is and how it works in the light of the reactions they've heard. But secondly, they can choose to amend their proposal in the light of concerns that have been addressed. At step 5, members of the circle are able to express their objections. The facilitator will call for any objections that any member has on the basis either that the proposal will move the organisation backwards or harm it in some way. And members of the circle can express as many objections as they choose, and the facilitator of the circle will record each individual objection. If there are no objections, then the proposal is carried and will be adopted by the circle. However, if there are objections, then at step 6, the circle will integrate those objections into the proposal and will work through one objection at a time to find a modified proposal that addresses that objection. When that objection is addressed, then the circle will move on to the next objection and address that. Finally, when all objections have been addressed, you cycle back and check whether there are any new objections, and if there are not, then the circle will adopt the modified proposal. So there are two important things that we get from the idea of holacracy. First, it's an innovative way of managing an organisation which is starting to become popular in some quarters. But secondly, there is a fantastic decision-taking process which works well within the circle structure, but to my mind, we can adopt and maybe adapt within a wide range of organisational structures. Please do give us a thumbs up if you like this video. There's loads more great management courses content to come, so please do subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of it. I look forward to seeing you in the next video, and in the meantime, keep learning.